Officially, because the recording has started. Good morning, happy Tuesday. Welcome out to the Options Income Launchpad Tuesday opening bell. The feed on the circle app. Okay. I thought you were talking about a new entry system. Anyway, well, good. I'm glad that was useful. At this point, if anybody does ever have an issue getting in, that's what, because it's like, all right, you should be able to find your way to the link pretty easily. Puts you in queue, automatically starts. Love it. Love it. Okay, my name is Scott. I'll be your host. As always, what we're going to do is for education, illustration purposes only. Nothing we do or say should be intended or construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security or financial product. We're not brokers or advisors, so we don't give personalized investment advice. Decisions made based on information you see here is at your own risk, yada, yada, yada. Good morning, Tony Z. Good to see you. The usual. We'll look at our watch list. I'm going to change this up a little bit. This outline, my outlines are a little outdated for these new sessions. We will look at the economic calendar. We always take a little peek at the posture just to see like what's, even yesterday, what an interesting day it was, right? That's the kind of market we're in right now. Big range days. It can go reverse in the second half of the day and make huge moves the other way. Good morning, Stephen. Excuse me. Okay. Trading plan section of the week. Remember, you're on section 6. We're almost done with our first full loop already. That's how fast that train moves. Boom. 8 weeks. Boom. 8 weeks. Another round of the trading plan. And that's the great thing is if you build this cadence where you're just like, okay, I'm going to spend a half an hour on Sundays, half an hour on Wednesdays, dedicated specifically to my trading plan. Dedicated specifically to I completely lost my train of thought. Yeah, sorry about that. Horrible. Started thinking about some trades. Okay, let's dive in. What do we know? Pretty flat. Is that right on the Russell? You can never trust the Russell early in the morning as the market first opens, is what I find. Yeah, you can see, you know what? It's down 0.04. So flat. Yahoo says it's up. Minus 0.09, minus 0.09, plus 0.07, minus 0.04. VIX is... We'll go look at the VIX. Gold is up 2.5%. Bitcoin's up back above 70. I used to be able to see. Oh, there we go. Crude is down 6%. I told you guys. I said, oh, maybe they'll just declare victory. Oh, you know what? We've achieved our objectives. It turns out we took a quick peek and realized, you know what, we actually won. It's over. Congratulations, everybody. Great. I mean, look, I'm all for it. That sounds fantastic. Declare victory, and let's see if we can't ease the tension there. But anyways, okay. Morning, El Jago. Stock futures were, I would say, flat. Oil pairs losses. Um, I'm not even sure pairs losses. Pairs losses would be, that's weirdly phrased. Good morning, Victor. Good to see you. I hope all is well. Anything else in the news that we see in the headlines? Not really. Oil slides as Trump seeks to ease concerns over war's length. Could be early. We'll see. We will see. All right. What is on the news for today? We got an optimism index that came in a little below expectations, but nobody cares about that, clearly. Existing home sales expected to be down marginally. I don't think anyone's watching that either. Doug, I agree with that, right? I mean, but it does seem like there's literally one person who has unilateral ability to say it's over. Like, yeah, we're done here, I think. The optics aren't good. We'll see. CPI. Look, if it comes out like this is great on Wednesday. A marginal tick up on the standard number from 0.2 to 0.3. That's perfectly reasonable. Flat 2.4 to 2.4 on the standard year over year measure. Core CPI actually dropping potentially a tick, and core CPI year over year staying flat. And at 2.4, 2.5, that's good. I mean, it's stuck. Even there, I think the Fed needs to see numbers regressing again before, though, again, their second half of their core responsibilities, in addition to keeping inflation low, is keeping employment full. So, we'll see. We'll see if we start to see a shift. But as of right now, you're not seeing much expectations of interest rate cuts until the second half of the year, unless we see data come in a little differently. Missiles and drones have to stop. Yeah, I mean, boy, I'll tell you what, right? The whole missiles and drones component these days is crazy. Okay. Let's go take a look at some more charts here. Let's dive into here we are in the SPY. So yesterday was a very interesting day. We gapped down. We sold off, then recovered, then advanced all the way back up, and then just kind of eased back a little bit. So as you look at that's a 1 minute chart. I want 5 days, 5 minutes. You can see that we initially sold off, came back up. And again, I want you to kind of keep an eye on like the concept of the opening range. The concept of the opening range, which I need to draw for you day traders. That's kind of, you can see how that opening range played out. Right through here, you had this little pop that led to it breaking out and moving on up. But after that, it was bullish. There was a bullish signal in here. Then pulled back a little bit. And then you can see recovered, rallied right at the end. Big move at the end. And that's what's hard, is a lot of yesterday's move was towards the end. But I feel like, and tell me if I'm wrong, most people's day trading tends to be morning session. I'm not aware of anyone who's just sitting there for 6.5 hours watching for day trades. Am I wrong about that? Right about that? If you're day trading, I typically find that you're either looking at again, 2 to 3 hour sessions. So morning session, afternoon session. Morning session, last hour, Craig said. Okay, that's reasonable. Good, well defined. Love it. Okay. And here's our open now. With opening range, same as Craig. Love it. With opening range, I like to draw the bodies. Be aware of the shadows. Pretty tight so far in here, this opening range. So, if we break down, there's a big chunk here that's like, you know what? What if we don't get out of this more early? Right? And so we're kind of watching this right now to see. And again, this candle just showed up. This is the last of the 4 that give me the first 20 minutes and build that range. So we'll see exactly where that ends up. We'll come back. But that certainly helps orient around the direction. Let's take a quick peek at... Yeah, so anyway, back to yesterday. Very interesting day. It did have above average volume yesterday. So we are putting a new one of these. And the buyers won the day, which is significant. We've been hoping the buyers could win a day so that our score didn't continue to drop. Several people, including the Oracle. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Dropped their volume scores down to a minus 0.5. I'm at a minus 0.25. But yeah, we would really like to see the buyers pushing in and creating signs of a fight. We hadn't seen much. As you look through all of this, we've got ties and sells, one buy, and then we've got sells and another buy. When we're seeing the buyers sporadic like this, we're not surprised to see the orientation downward sloping. Clearly the tug of war is not going well, but we just saw a good clean fight. They came out swinging. Yeah, that's what we're hoping to see, is that exact evidence. For us, we're not thinking about, is it, is it good? Is it bad? We're thinking, look, the buyers showed up. It's not subjective. Objectively, the buyers came. We can see it in the amount of volume. We can see it in the way that the day transpired. So, okay. Let's go look at the VIX now. We'll come back and finish looking at that opening range. Ooh, so yesterday was a hell of a day. We hadn't spiked that high, I think, for a couple years, actually. Let's go back. So these were our last two highs up in the low 27, 28 range that we had been, watching for. And you can see that, that was pretty big and pretty big. Very similar to that back there. That one there. This was tariff reveal party day. Tariff reveal party happened in there. And you can see immediately coming out of that was opportunity. And you can see that what we have now looks very similar to, and it was much, much higher at one point. This was so weird when this spiked up like that. But this is really more in line with what it was. And you can see that we got up in that area. So in the last couple of years, there's only been 3 spikes that got up into the 30s. And we're in one of them now. Is that catastrophic? Oh no. No, in fact, as we look at what's going on now, maybe it pulls back a little bit and then it turns up and then it rolls over. And that's where we're the core thing that we're looking for coming out of, whoops, wrong way. These spikes were really oriented on what comes immediately after. And you can see that last one actually was still a little choppy. So one was a regression, one was kind of sideways here. Let's go into the SPY. Then you can see one had a big recovery, one had some recovery. It wasn't a bad. You can see that there was still a little bit of chop where it pulled back pretty hard, but then it made a nice bullish move. You can see this one here made substantial, recovery and bullishness. But that's kind of what we're looking for, is what comes out, because right before these things, you can see we have the depths. That's the lows. And so what would our thought process be? Would be, well, that then is becoming another one of these. If we're at the bottom, right? We don't know yet. We're just saying that, hey, what are the patterns that we're going to look for? Well, the fact that we had such a blow off top on the VIX is starting to make me feel like, okay, let's see if this is where, in fact, we start to see things coming back in. I don't know. Give me your thoughts. Dow, if anyone is left in Dow Chemical, it's just kind of, it hit the target yesterday The adjusted target of 35.50, not the original target. The adjusted target of 35.50. I mean, it's still just sitting in a range of profitability. If you still have it, you can see your stochastics crossed, finished yesterday. Me as well. If anyone still has any of this left, it's good to have a winner on the docket. Don't give it back. Okay, let's go see what's setting up for us. You can see Alcoa hit that 50 by the end of yesterday. Today's trying to make the cross. You're starting to see there will be signs that are like, this is close. Apple has a cross down here, but on price itself, actually, I would want to see it more like this 260 level. It feels like it was an engulfing followed by an inside day. I don't know. Kind of turned sideways anyways. Archer Daniels ended up showing some signs of bounce off of that 50. Applied Materials. I like Applied Materials. You can see Applied Materials. We'll put this right maybe in here. And see, I feel like day trading Tesla. Okay, very nice. I love that you're keeping us updated. This might even have enough. Yeah. Where I would actually say I'm not going to put a stop way down underneath these lows, but instead under these bodies. Maybe 325. 17 points. 17 points. But if my target is 395, that's 50 to the upside. 17 to 50. That's 3-1. 3-1, strong trend. I would say this is on my list of a potential for today. Give me your thoughts. Why would I not pull the trigger now? Gabe says. Certainly you could. I mean, the fact is that right now we are looking at a daily chart 25 minutes in. So this candle is not locked in, right? This is not a locked in candle. At the end of the day, we could end up with a candle that looks like this. Right? And this right here is not locked in. This would end up still like this. So Rosanna says you could wait one more day for confirmation. I would be okay with this trade more at the end of the day where I'm like, okay, now this candle is more secure, which is why a lot of times the alerts come out towards the end of the day. Or you could say, I'm going to actually, if I'm thinking about it now, let's jump down. And you can see that you're like, ooh, this does have some momentum that started yesterday. It's carrying forward a little bit. But you might watch and think to yourself, you know what, I'm going to wait until the afternoon to see if it pulls back a little bit. This is... It did have a little sneaky thing, but really this is the first big move out of this downward consolidation. I think you could. I think you could say, you know what, I'm going to go with it. Now, here's the deal. If it pulls back down and I can catch it at 340, 341, then I might have a better opportunity of putting it in. This is kind of where I'm saying, like, my stop would kind of cut through there. Yeah, I mean, it depends on your rules of confirmation. But the reason why I would not say, and I'll tell you what, there's been plenty of times where I'm like, this looks fantastic, and I pull the trigger, and at the end of the day, there's no evidence that it ever looked good. You're just sitting there in a trade where you're like, what happened? What happened? But we'll come back to this and play with some numbers. Rosanna's waiting. El Jago says, by my rule, it's tomorrow. So different rules will get you in at different times, right? Some look for more confirmation. Some look for more momentum. We all see what we see here. We see a trend. We see new highs. God, you and me both. Oh, goodness. Yes, sir. Okay. AMKR now. I'm not looking to catch things at new lows. We're looking at Amazon. Amazon, maybe. You can see it's sort of fighting into this new orientation after putting in this little bottom over here. Is this done? Is it going to turn? It doesn't feel like it's like we're knocking on the door, but maybe it's there. Maybe it's close. APH. Again, could you make an argument that says, hey, this had an engulfing. It's starting to move. It's bouncing support. Yeah, I mean, you could make that argument, but why are you trying to? It's the bottom of a channel. The channel's sideways to slightly down. We're not looking for reasons to find trades. We're looking for things that still look like trades in this market, like AM18, like ASX. Things that pull back, catch the 50, look to turn. And even this is going to be, for some people, they're going to be like, nope, that's too much at that point. But you can see the last time it dropped down, took a little longer, but when it got to that 50, it had a nice reaction. A very nice reaction. ASX, that's reasonable. AXP, no. Financials, not yet. BABA. Again, this BABA has a lot of work to do. I'm not like, hey, let's see if we can catch the bottom of this because I think this is going to happen. I don't think that. As of right now, I think that this is going to happen. And before earnings, it'll be here because this is the way this is moving right now. This is the trend. I'm not trying to catch this falling knife down here at this bottom. Boeing. Oh, sorry. BAC, same thing, down at the bottom. Financials are struggling. Here's Boeing. I mean, it's not as steep, but it's kind of got that same look. This is sort of languishing a little bit down here under the 50. Bank of America, BCS, well down. Budweiser. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Citi is down. Caterpillar. Even if you liked it, back here, liquidity saved our bacon. I like to leave that there as a good reminder. That was showing some momentum, and then it had this drop. Back here, when the volatility was at like 41, we didn't like the spreads. Now, the volatility spiked up to 40, almost 50, pulled back. It's still at 43, so it's still higher. I would expect that the bid-ask spreads still look pretty nasty. No good. No bueno. Okay. What else? CF pulling back. It just accelerated. I would say anywhere through here, if it comes in and turns, you got plenty of time for that moving average to continue going. Yeah, I like it. I would think about trading that. It's moving well. Coherent. Ooh. Coherent. Goodness gracious. You're so big already. 6%. I mean, this thing could make a move on up here to 320. That's 50 points. 50 points. If I want 3-1, I can't risk more than about 17. 17 would be 253. 253 is here. It feels like that's just too tight, right? Like, I mean, maybe you could put a stop in here. 247.5. You're talking 20 points. 20 points. And with us already up at 268, 269, even if we think it's going to 320, you're only at 2.5 to 1. So if you ever see when I like balk a little bit at like, oh, it's a good turn, but it's so big that by the time we're up 6.5%, that's a big chunk of what we were hoping for. I want to see it up 2%, where it's like here, and then I'm like, oh, now I can find my way into a solid reward to risk ratio situation. Okay, Cisco. Yeah, I was kind of watching this one, and it had yesterday was big pullback. Today it's trying to stabilize. I don't know. Delta's down. Here's the Dow. So we're down about 0.25%. Here's Dow Chemical. Looks okay. Plenty of time to get out. Ford is starting to show a little signs. GE. Oh, GE. We bring good things to life. I would probably end up with a stop somewhere between the bottom of this head, bottom of this shadow. I'm not going to have a stop way below this long tail here. Can't do it. I can't do that. But all of a sudden, this looks a little tasty. Target 356. So we've got about 30 points to the upside. I think I can take 7 or 8 to get 30. So I'm getting 3.5 to 1, maybe 4 to 1 in that area. Yeah, and it's industrials. Industrials is certainly a core sector. This is where I'm going to come back and play with some numbers. Gold, General Motors, Google. Oh, Google. Come on, Google. Come on, Google. Goldman Sachs, well down. Home Depot, down. HL, sideways. IBM. IBM is on my list. And you're like, Scott, IBM, look what happened to it. Look what happened. Past tense. Happened. It even had a little bit of a sneaky reversal through here. A little whoop, whoop, whoop. But either way, it definitely broke. Bam. Look at that break. That's clear. Right? It's not like, oh, the buyers are trying. Oh, the buyers are trying. That's buyers. That's clear. We see it. We don't think it or believe it or feel it. We see it. Right there. Now what? Now the sellers. We're like, oh, the buyers did a little bit of a smash and grab. Now the sellers are like, wait. Okay, how much do they have? Again, like it's pretty easy to just kind of like knock a line across here. Clearly well below that other line. So it's not today, but this is coming down, and when this turns, and when we see this turn, that's going to line up for us. This pattern, this is a beautiful pattern. A beautiful pattern indeed. Come on down, IBM. Come on down. Intel. Flat. Small caps. No. Down marginally. Lumentum. I mean, look. It's a $700 stock. This thing flies around. We just pulled back from 780 to 550. then it's kicked back to 700. It's up 8-9% today. Oh, goodness gracious. LRCX. If somebody got stuck, and again, that can happen, you've gotten a good chunk back. I mean, honestly, you're about where, the first day went wrong, but you're a few days later. You did get some vol, so a little vol probably helped keep things in some extent, but working your way out at this point. Don't let this thing do too much. But glad to see some recovery. MasterCard. No. I would actually, though, as I say no quickly, I'm thinking actually, I'm going to say maybe. Maybe MasterCard begins a turn. There's plenty of money being made by credit card companies still, I would imagine. Meta, sideways, Monster. You might think, oh, that's what we're looking for. It's got, look at that turn. It's hooking up. So Cassix is turning. Yeah, but that was a big drop. That was a big drop. It made a move that we were looking for prior. But iffy on the liquidity. Iffy on the liquidity. Okay. It is what it is. Okay. Morgan Stanley. Down, Microsoft. No. Ooh, look at Micron. Micron made a little turnaround. A little turnaround. Okay. Short Microsoft. Ooh. Okay. Short Microsoft. I like it. Stochastics is turned. He's got some resistance here. Looking for the bounce off of resistance. I like it. Pretty easy to kind of say, hey, I'm going to stop out if this were to break above these highs, which clearly that hasn't happened. That day there probably has the shadow you're looking for. High of 413. Yeah, I mean, I could even see this thing trying to get back down to 390. Okay, fair. Love it. Love when you guys share trades. Me gusta. NVIDIA, flat. Palantir. Okay, Palantir. Right? Palantir is one that, it broke. Clearly, the buyers did more here than they have done in quite a while. Failed. Since back here, this is the first real opportunity. Now what are we seeing? Now we're seeing the sellers coming in, and we're thinking, we've got a little box over here where this thing pulls back and turns. Stochastics comes down and turns. That's where we start thinking this is ready to move the other way. Right? Okay. Clear this out. I do want time to get back to GE. Rocket Lab flat. Ross Stores. Yeah. RTX pulling back a little still. Silver up a little bit. SNDK. That was one we kind of talked about. That's trying to make a bounce. Big day yesterday. So big yesterday. Right? Such a big day. Okay. STX. SYY. Let's go look at that Tesla here in a second. TJX. TJX could be moving to the 50. Tesla tried to make a move, it looks like. Pulled back. Holding, though. Holding. GLW. Sorry, sir. Let me take a quick step back to Corning. Ooh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, it's a volatile one, which we're seeing that. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Where was I? Yeah, it's just got a big swing potentially, as far as like where's my stop and my target, but that looks great. I think that definitely looks strong. Okay. Let's see. Viking, VIK. Here's VOD, WDC. These things have such crazy bounces. And then here is Walmart. You can see Walmart trying to start to make a little bit of a turn. Okay. Let's get back to GE and let's build this thing out a little bit. Let me move this out of the way. And let's get a template. Let's build something here. Okay. Make it a little smaller. GE. Bullish. What are we thinking here for an entry? I think anything above like, I'm going to say 323 and a half is valid. We're at we're above that now, obviously, but let's see. And I would say as high as maybe even, it's rallying a little even right now. I wouldn't want it to be more than maybe 326.75. I'd have to reevaluate at that point. Stop range. I'm going to say you could be as close as 318 and a half. maybe down to 316. Primary target, I'm looking for a new higher high. We're going to just use this line. 356.83. We'll say 356.50. Take profit target would probably be maybe around 343. Right through the chunk of that. Okay. Let's see. Oh gosh, do I have a platform here? Give me 1 second to get this dialed in. Let's bring this over. Wait, what? What just happened here? Okay. 365.50. And I said 318.50. I'm going to go to the Aprils probably now. Let's move this to 12 contracts. Let's see. I got to tell you, I see a big chunk here, 6,000 contracts. Oof, what's with these spreads? As I said, and you can see it's even gotten a little worse. The higher the VIX, it's not only a liquidity measure, but the spreads are always a risk control mechanism. For the market makers. They widen their spreads to help protect. And you can see that that's a little bit what's going on, right? Is that they've widened the spreads. Yeah, it's not great. Let's play with it a little bit. Let's play with it a little bit still. Not fantastic, the spreads. Okay, let's see. Sorry, I've lost my chat too. You guys asking me questions and I'm distracted. Oh no, okay. Today is the 10th. I'm going to go out. Let's go out to the 18th. And you can see, even at this level, one contract's going to have $300 worth of risk. But it does give you a good reward to risk ratio here. I'm going to take a look at one more out of the money. This one would be 200. And yeah, I mean, you could probably end up going either way. Yeah, okay. Give me your thoughts. What do you guys think of GE? This one could come out. The liquidity's not fantastic, but it is what it is. I'm actually maybe leaning towards the 360s. Since I'm going out to April. Yeah. Okay. There's a section for options. Renee, there's a whole course. There is a whole course. Let me just kind of walk you through it a little bit. Where are you? Okay, let me bring this over. Couple of things. If you didn't see it over here under webinars, we have schedule and links. This is what someone was talking about now. All of our links, except for one, I'm going to get it updated today, are in here. Sundays, this is the link. Monday, Tuesday, everything is in here. You can just come in, save these. That's one thing. Courses. In courses, we have first option trade where you'll actually see that I build, I talk about building a full trade. So, yeah. Okay. You also have options foundations. This options foundations, if you click on this, mine looks a little different at first. Let me view course. Beginning options, you have intro, key concepts, basic strategies, selling options, spreads, right? So this is all about options trading in here. And you'll see that most of the trades that we put out are going to be options related trades. So, okay. It's good to see you guys. Good morning, right? Yeah, not bad. We're hopefully seeing some stability. I hope you guys have a great rest of your morning. I'll see you guys tonight. Glenn will be on first. I'll be on second. We'll answer questions, talk about any trades that come out, go from there. As always, happy trading.